Welcome to my Real Estate Jojo with Mr. Investor. Guys, today's topic is about 4 books that all real estate investors need to know to become successful in the real world. Number 1 is called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Now let me tell you a little story about this book. I was homeless, living in my car after college. I had no money, no credit. I didn't have a system. I didn't have anybody believing in me. Not my family, not my friends, not the bankers. Nobody would believe in me because I had no money, no credit. All I had was a dream, and I wanted to become an entrepreneur. I didn't even know what I wanted to do, but all I knew is I didn't want to work for somebody. I didn't want to work in a cubicle. So I was living in my car on top of this hill in my Jeep, and I know I was very depressed and just thinking to myself, guys, am I crazy? Am I nuts? Am I a lunatic? You know, I'm an immigrant to America. You know, I have no systems. I have no money. I have no credit. I have no connections. And everybody that I love and care for is telling me I'm nuts. I'm crazy. So I think to myself, am I really crazy? Do I belong into a nut house? Because, you know, I want to become this really entrepreneur and I want to own 10 businesses. Well, all I have in my pocket is $100. I'm living in my fucking car, and I have friends that have just graduated college like myself, and they went out and got jobs making $35,000, $40,000, you know, dollars, where I'm living in my car trying to pursue my dreams, and I really thought I was crazy. Good thing is that I work out, and this gentleman at the gym give me this one little book. Actually, he burned the book, guys, for me. And he said, hey, man, you need to listen to this, because he knew I was a dreamer. I was a hard worker at the gym. And he knew what I wanted to become, which is an entrepreneur. And he said, you need to listen to this book. And the book was called Poor Dad, Rich Dad. Man, it was like 10 o'clock at night. You know, it was cold in my car. You know, I didn't have anything else to do, so I started listening to this book while I was crying to myself to sleep, thinking, do I need to be in a nut house? Okay? And once I started listening to this guy, Robert Kiyosaki, I really realized that I'm not crazy, and a lot of the people out there were crazy, because it's crazy to go to that cubicle every day. It's crazy to live in the rat race where you're working all week and making somebody else's dream come true, and you only get a little paycheck. Where I wanted to control my own destiny in my hand. So once I started listening to this book, I really realized that I'm not crazy and I am going the right way, because there was nobody that believed in me. And I felt like the only person that believed in me at that time, even though I never met the gentleman, which is the author of the book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And let me give you a quick, short, what this book is about. This book is about thinking out of the box. This book is about assets and liabilities. This book is about the cash flow quadrant. Once you realize what the cash flow quadrant is and where do you fit in and where do you want to go through, you're going to really understand if business and being an entrepreneur or being a real estate investor is something for you. So in a nutshell, my top pick for the 4 books that all real estate investors and entrepreneurs should listen to is Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Okay? My book number 2, which I highly, highly recommend, all these books I highly recommend, is that Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Now, a quick summary of this book is to be able to think positively. It's the most important thing in life, to think positively, to have a burning desire, okay? The book also helps you realize creative thinking, that you have to be creative. You could pull $1 million out of nothing if you have imagination, if you have a burning desire, and you're willing to work for it day and night to create it out of your imagination. Okay, so Think Rich, Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill is my top book, which helps you realize how to be positive. The 3rd book I would highly recommend, again, to everybody is Dale Carnegie, How to Win and Influence People. Okay, I really needed that book. I really didn't know how to negotiate with other people. I really didn't know how to put myself into other people's shoes, so I read that book. And it's a must if you want to be a real estate investor. It's a must if you want to be in the sales business. It's a must if you want to learn how to negotiate. To be able to put yourself in other people's shoes is a must, guys, and be able to build rapport. So in a nutshell, the book, How to Win and Influence People, is basically about building rapport with your clients, how to put yourself in their shoes, and be able to negotiate in a very effective way. Now, the fourth book, ladies and gentlemen, that I highly recommend is now The Alchemist. And the author's name is Pablo, I can't say his last name, Cubella or something like that, okay? Now, The Alchemist is basically a fiction book. Let me tell you guys, in my whole life, I'm 36 years old. I've never read a fictional book in my life. All I've ever read is self-improvement books. And so when I was introduced to a fictional book called The Alchemist, I was very hesitant to read it because time is money and I have 3 businesses to run and I only have time to self-improve myself. So I didn't want to sit here and listen to some fairy tale. Boy, was I wrong. This book is a life changer. This book takes book number 1, book number 2, book number 3, and puts it all together for you in a fictional way that you really get to see what happens when you use book number 1, book number 2, book number 3, okay? So The Alchemist, book number 4, is very, very important, and a short story about it is that it puts everything together for you as an entrepreneur, as a real estate investor, and helps you realize that everything's meant to be. Everything was written. If you're watching me, it was written for you to seek your dreams. If you're here and you're seeking, or if you could imagine that you want to be a real estate investor, then that gift was given to you by the universe. So you need to go out there and hustle and bustle and make it happen for you guys. This is Mike with Mr. Investor with the Real Estate Dojo, and I'll talk to you guys later.